I'm a big believer that, if you're really paying attention, there are songwriters out there that maybe the whole song, the sum of it is not really, you're not really getting a full, entire, clear picture. But if you look at each line, each
Yeah.
line could be telling you something, like a story within each line.
With it, yes, where it's not
And
dependent on the other lines, maybe.
right. And
Right. Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
if the band and the producers are totally like, on their game, right, then they're creating beautiful music around
Yeah.
that each line, right? So with the
Yeah.
music and the words at that time, and I just felt like this was one of those songs. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Into the Music. My name is Greg, and I'm here with my buddy Chris. And so, Chris, what do you got for me tonight?
All right. We got one of our. I've got one of our favorites, and one of the viewers' favorites too. It's Radiohead with a song called Codex. So
Yeah.
we got this as a request from one of our viewers, and I'm sure it would have been requested more than this one time as our comments continue.
Okay.
But yeah, so give it a shot. I'm not going to tell you what to expect or anything. Just listen away.
Was this song on your list? So this is a request, but did
Yeah,
you
but I
like go,
had to.
wow, this is on
I
my
was
list?
surprised. Yeah, yeah, but I
Okay.
wasn't sure if you had heard it or not. I was glad to find out you didn't.
Yeah, yeah, cool, cool. No, I have not. So yeah. So I'll go off, I'll check it out and come right back.
All right, cool.
So is that keyboard with some sort of effect combined with the guitar? Or was that just the keyboard? Eh, Regardless, it's really cool. Really cool. His voice. I gotta bring that back to where he starts singing. That's just gorgeous. And those chords, that chord change, I recognize it from somewhere. I recognize it from somewhere. Anyway, let's go. that chord change right to that, they just know how to they just know how to change chords. That's just so beautiful. You know, it's not an easy skill. You know, certain bands are, you know, when they're trying to mix things up or whatever, just sometimes, you know, maybe they should have taken that turn instead of that turn. But this band just knows that, just that subtle. They know where they're going, and that they know that you know where they're going. We're following. It's the right way. It's the right way. No wrong way for Radiohead.
Water's clear and innocent. The water's clear and innocent.
Oh my God. What is that? What are we at? What was that? That was really 4 minutes and 44 seconds. That was like the quickest, like the blink of an eye. That's crazy. That's crazy. Um, that's how good that song was. I'm in awe. This is second. All right, so
So,
yeah, yeah.
okay,
Radiohead.
go ahead.
Radiohead has, first off, the person who requested that. Thank you. And Chris, you were smart to actually have that on your list, because that it's just another. It's ha- are you going to give me something from Radiohead that's just going to disappoint me? Because so far that hasn't happened.
I'll try
Um,
to. I'll make that my goal.
no, really, you know, and I
Right.
I just
I'm glad.
surprised you
I'm
with
glad.
Optimistic, you know,
Yes.
um, and so we're plugging in the holes here, right? Because
Hmm.
Radiohead's a really interesting band with the both of us, right? So
Yeah.
you've caught up on the Radiohead, and
Hmm.
you knew the stuff before, you know, before when I kind of, you know, checked out for a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
So I think you're more well-rounded and stuff like that on Radiohead, on the catalog. So I'm doing some catch up.
Right.
But you've been feeding me you know, we're plugging in gaps here. You know, that's kind
Right.
of the way I see it right now. Okay, there are gaps, especially from like 2004 onward, that, you know, I'm plugging up here and there. And this is, I guess this is another one. I think the song, unless you're going to shock me and tell me this was before 2003, 2004, but I would think that this was probably one that was, you know, in the 2000s, whatever, somewhere.
Yeah.
So what year was
Yes.
this?
It was from 2011, and
Oh wow,
it's
even
from
that
an
later.
album called King of Limbs, which
Mm.
I happen to really like that album. So hopefully there's some stuff on there you haven't heard too. So
Chris, the Rainbows album that came out, what, 2007, that just, almost every song on that was just amazing. And
yeah.
the couple things you've had me listen to on that
Well,
album.
this one, I really like this album, but
And
it was
so this,
definitely a departure from In Rainbows. So
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
then
yeah.
they're being experimental,
No,
which
but
is
I'm only
great.
bringing that up because the 2011, 4 years later, and they put
Yeah.
the song out. They just, at some point you're just, if you're like, if you're great, if you're excellent, you're gonna stay excellent.
Hmm.
You may like a band like Radiohead and a band like Led Zeppelin and U2, and they pushing the boundaries, and they're gonna go somewhere here, and some a lot will follow, some won't, and whatever, and you just and Radiohead has done that, in their career, and yet it's they're just trying new stuff,
Yeah.
when I think back to all their transitions and stuff like that, as a band, but they've been great all the time. Even if they got into something that I wasn't totally into, they were
Hmm.
still doing it like excellently, if that's a word, which I know it's not, but because they're an excellent
Actually, it is.
band, they were just doing it, they were doing it, the best that they could do, and that was damn good. Um, and uh, this song was like, it started off very slow, and the keyboard guitar was very slow. I wrote down
It
some
stayed
notes.
slow.
It
You know,
stayed
I mean,
slow. It stayed slow. But then, when he started singing, it's I was like, holy crap, it's
yeah.
like he just drops in. He just his vocals were amazing. The production on this song, just like all the other songs, they know how to bring every single instrument, every single
Mhm.
note, every single decibel, everything of his voice, everything. Everything is just all just
Yeah. Again, they were really
clear,
successful at creating a whole mood,
a whole
which
mood.
they are really good at
I
with
f-
all the
it was
elements
I f-
together.
I felt like I was like in a canyon, not that there was echoes all around, but I was like in a canyon, and there was just all the sound around me. It was just everything was all around me. Even like if I'm in a
Wasn't it
canyon
like,
and you're looking at mountains, all like, you're small and everything around you is big. And that's how I felt with this. Everything was big around me. Everything was big. And yeah, you were gonna say something.
no,
Yeah.
that was a
Yeah.
good, good vision for this song.
Yeah. They painted that vision, man, and I just happened to, see it and just be immersed in its beauty. Because when you're in a canyon and everything around you, it's
Yeah.
probably going to be gorgeous and beautiful. And
Well,
that's what the
yeah.
song was. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. His voice was beautiful. Um, and, some of the words I wrote down, like he was talking about jumping into the lake and then the water's clear. Um, so I'm interested if you know about the song, like what is it about?
I never, when I look up their songs, I always find this really vague stuff that maybe a band member would say about it.
Yeah.
I never really, I don't go, I'd have to really kind of to start leaning towards being a Radiohead scholar to really get into that.
We're going to
But
become Radiohead scholars at the rate that we're going, right?
right, maybe. But so I end up looking up stuff where
I
there's
hope.
just people, on Reddit or something, that
Yeah. Yeah.
somebody says, I think it means this. But you know how that is. It's You get these widely different interpretations of some of these songs, and Radiohead. I just always go back to something I read about them years ago, that said, where they said sometimes they're not even sure what their lyrics mean. So I think they're trying to create a mood, uh,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that, to me, that, I said this before on other videos, that I like that it keeps it open to interpret it the way you want.
Yeah, and some of the if
And
for
I just went with the imagery and the
right.
feel of the song. It's just so peaceful, you know. You're kind of like, you listen to the song and it's kind of gives you a feeling like everything's going to be okay, and
When you
relax,
when you artwork, right? There's abstract artwork, and there's amazing, beautiful abstract artwork, out there. And I just feel like, if he's not really fully telling the story, and you're just kind of creating that mood, and
Mhm.
you're putting in certain lines. I'm a big believer that, if you're really paying attention, there are songwriters out there that maybe the whole song, the sum of it is not really, you're not really getting a full, entire, clear picture. But if you look at each line, each
Yeah.
line could be telling you something, like a story within each line.
With it, yes, yes, where it's not
And
dependent on the other lines, maybe.
right. And
Right. Yeah.
also,
Yeah.
if the band and the producers are totally, like, on their game, right, then they're creating beautiful music around
Yeah.
that each line, right? So with the
Yeah.
music and the words at that time, and I just felt like this was one of those songs,
Yeah. I don't know why,
yeah.
so, I understand trying when people try to learn what the lyrics mean, but there's always that expectation that it really means something solid and something distinct, and it
It doesn't have to, like,
it
the
doesn't have to, but
the fact that,
yeah,
like, at a
so
certain
many songs don't.
at a certain time of the song where I'm totally immersed in the music, and then I'm hearing it, like, into the lake, the water's clear.
Yeah,
Maybe that's just good enough.
I,
That
I
those
thought so.
words at
Without
that
without
time,
knowing what it
at
means.
that moment, why am I all of a sudden jumping on or in tune with those words? So maybe that's, to really go any deeper. And I'm not saying the song's not deep. I'm not saying that what Tom wrote is not deep. What I'm just saying is that, you only have a certain amount of time to listen to a song, especially like the first time. And
Mhm.
so, what are you gonna get out of it? And, for certain words to jump out, you know, when a particular piece is, music is like floating out, the band did its job, and it's just, Radiohead is just constantly doing that. They're
Yeah,
just, and when I listen to it again, I'm gonna pick something else out, and that's the beauty of music, right? Because you can go back to it, and then you're gonna like. I mean, there are songs, I think you can relate to this, right? There are songs that I've heard for years, and if I'm really paying attention and just, checking everything out the door there, and I put the headphones on, and I'm really giving that song a
yeah,
chance.
yeah.
I'm discovering, that bass was really amazing.
Well,
I never really heard, that bass, or the vocals on that, or they put different tracks here and there. You're always discovering something new, even with stuff, it's so old,
mhm, yep, absolutely.
and that's the beauty. That's the wondrous thing about music, that I found,
Yep,
yeah. So I'm hoping that this song could be one of those, that over the years I'm gonna keep going back to,
yeah.
and hearing something else, discovering something else.
We'll find out.
Yeah, we will find out. So, Radiohead fans out there, what do you think about the song? Please let
Yeah,
us know.
and thank you for requesting this.
Yes,
And
yes, whoever you are, thank you so much. And Chris, this was great. This was a great night of
good,
music.
good,
We reckoned some other stuff, and I'm blown away by the music
cool,
I'm listening to
good
tonight.
deal.
So anyway, everyone, thank you so much for watching this episode. If you like this video, please hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to us, yeah, please do so. We'd love to have you. And with that said, Chris, this was great. And everyone, until next time, next episode of Into the Music.
See y'all.